Let's unpack the word sin. As we all know, sin is one of those words that carries a heavy judgment in our history. But when you look at it through an older spiritual root and linguistic content or angle, it becomes something much more instructive and compassionate. Now, the original meaning of sin from ancient Hebrew and Greek texts meant simply just missing the mark. It is a complete archery term. When an arrow falls short of a target, it sins. So the ideal was never being permanently stained, but to misalignment and the need of realignment. So by knowing that we are beings that have to ascend from different levels to raise our frequency and our vibration, you understand that sometimes we miss the mark because we're not in alignment with our assignment, and we're not in alignment with our purpose because we are stagnant and stuck somewhere down the line. So this made me look at sin a lot different. Now let's look at this as a spiritual interpretation from a metaphorical or a metaphysical or inner alchemic lens. Sin is not a moral verdict, but an energetic imbalance. A moment when the mind forgets the truth, the heart closes, or the will acts from fear rather than love. Now we have to understand the opposite of love is hate. And most of the time when you operating out of the opposite of love, it's just really fear, because you can't really be in alignment with who you are when we are loving beings. So when you miss the mark, we're just simply out of resonance with our divine design, our blueprint. The remedy isn't punishment. It is correction, which I call course correction, through awareness, compassion, and practice. You're really sharpening your tools to become a better you, so you can now continue to ascend and change at a rapid pace, but also in alignment with your assignment and your purpose. Now, looking at sin as a evolutionary force, you can now see it in a different light. Sin becomes part of the growth process, the growing cycle, the part of yourself where you are now holding yourself accountable for the actions and how you show up, and you're becoming full responsible for who you are and not operating on autopilot and just allowing yourself to just be in a way where you're not understanding who you are and your purpose. You're walking in alignment with your assignment, and you understand that you have full control over who you are. By having this awareness of this harmony, you will now move in a way where you can harmonize and you could alchemize things as they come up effortlessly. You can also see that a lot of people, we all sin. Let's just get that correct and understand that no sin is bigger than any other sin. But now that we are looking at it as such, we're looking at a reflection. We're reflecting on the cause of why we're doing the stuff we're doing. But as we're doing this, most time if fear comes up, ignorance come up, and attachment comes up, we have to learn to detach, to understand, to now move in a way where you can actually see yourself for who you are, but in a non-judgment way, but in a way where you can actually make change from based off of who you are into a better version of yourself, because you're not being honest. Once you embark on a self-mastery journey, you'll learn that alchemizing who you are and adding that alchemy to your process of the self will really help you understand a lot of things that are going on in the world and within yourself a lot better than what you have before. So now that we have unpacked this in alchemy, as an alchemist, religion called it sin, but as an alchemy, it's really just the raw, unfined energy that once acknowledged, becomes the gold of wisdom. Every act of awareness transforms distortion into light. You got to understand that and now that you're looking at it in a way that it is my responsibility to change who I am and how I operate, and that also reflects the reality around me, you understand that each moment counts. We're no longer living in a time where we are putting or giving full responsibility to other people for our actions and our being. We are being held accountable. If you haven't been paying attention, a lot of things are going on with people individually and with ourselves too. That means that now we are really being pushed to the forefront to really see ourselves for who we really are, so we can pivot and make change based off our individual self. It was never about you. It was never about other people being the reason why who you are. You are the reason why who you are. Even though they did play a part, you still have the reason. You have the capability of making a different choice and alchemizing the situation so it can be conducive to your growth and not be a hindrance. I'm sending you love, baby.